Okay guys, so from the Desmos activity last week, you should have seen these two lines here, okay? The dashed line has this equation up here, and the blue line has this equation down here. What we want to do is make them exactly parallel. They are very close to parallel. So what we want to do is we want to change the slope of these equations to be the exact same, okay? When we do that, we will have created two parallel lines as long as these parts here match, okay? So when you went into these, all you had to do was copy any part that had the x. Negative 0.8x, let's say plus 1 for this one, just so it's a little different. Y equals 4.2x. So you can see all I had to do was include these terms here, and it didn't matter what I did with these terms. Most of them I just made them 0 but not including them. This one was already 0, so I had to include some kind of plus 1. Okay? So when looking at parallel lines, all you have to do is find their slope, and by looking at the number attached to x, and if those slopes are the same, then those lines are parallel. Okay? Now let's look at some questions that you guys are going to run into in the rest of the IXL. Okay? So you're going to have questions that have 2 points. Okay? Let's say one's at 1, 3. And one is up here. Let's make it a different color. At, let's say 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 7. So let's say we want to find the slope between these 2 points. Okay? So there's my line, there's my slope. Okay? If I have it graphed out, I can do this fairly easily. I can just figure out how many boxes I go up from this one to this one. So let's do this actually. And I can figure out how many boxes I go over. Okay, so 4 over and 2. Okay, so my slope would be 4 over 2, which simplifies to 2 over 1. Okay, now let's say you're not given a graph and you want to find these exact numbers. Okay, so remember this is rise over run. So how did I find my rise here really? Well, I found 4 because this one was 7 up here and this one was 3 down here. So let's say we have some point, our second point here, x2, y2, okay? A point that's higher up and further to the right. In this case, we have 3, 7. And we have a first point, x1, y1. In this case, 1, 3. Okay? So how did we find these numbers? Well, we found 4 by basically taking the difference between these two, okay? The difference is found just by counting the boxes between the numbers. And I can write that mathematically by saying 7 minus 3. Okay? Now how did I find my run? I did the same thing. I took my rightmost point, 3, and I subtracted my leftmost point. Okay? So what you'll notice is this is point 2. These are both the numbers from my red point, and this is point 1. These are both my numbers from my blue point, okay? And it doesn't matter which one you pick to be your point 1 or point 2, as long as you put them on top of each other in the equation, okay? Once you do that, you'll see it's 4 over 2. Okay? So, the general equation for these, we look at our thing over here, is taking our rightmost point, that's x2, and our leftmost point, okay, and putting them next to each other and subtracting. Okay, so you'll see you're going to take your two y's, your second numbers, and subtract them and put them at the top of your fraction. And then take your two x's, your first numbers, and subtract them and put them in the bottom of your fraction. The one thing you have to make sure of is that both of these are on top of each other. Okay? As you guys work on this, ask me questions. Let me know what you guys think, okay? All right, guys. Good luck with this.